Hello everyone, and welcome to a banner review of the newest Mythic hero banner that features Leif. And today I'm gonna be giving my opinions about him and all the other heroes that come along with him, including other Mythic and Legendary heroes that are only featured in this banner. So starting off with probably the most impressive thing so far, Leif actually has a nice base kit. By playing against him on story maps, we could already see what kind of skills he would have, such as Thrasher having Swift Sparrow. I think she had Swift Sparrow for most of book 3, but then she had Flashing Blade, and Flashing Blade is similar to it. It's related to speed and such, but Leif had for some reason Special Spiral. He didn't have Distant Counter, he didn't have Time Pulse, he didn't have any of that shit. All of his skills are new, and Open the Future just busted Bonfire. And well, we knew about this Mythic hero. We knew it was Leif because there was a data mine recently, and on the data mine they could see that Leif's weapon, Sukvabeker, it was before the data mine, it was an enemy exclusive weapon, but now it's a you can also get players to use Sukvabeker. So by doing it, everyone already knew Leif was going to become a Mythic hero, and well, by Leif being a Mythic hero, we already know what his stats look like from story maps, and because he's too similar to Alphonse, so I'm going to make an educated guess and say he has about 38 attack, 36 defense, 24 res, and 26 speed, and about 43 HP, which is just about what Alphonse has, but with just a little more to make him kinda better. But now about his actual skills. He comes with Sukvabeker, a weapon that, if you already played the story maps, you already know how it works. It's essentially like Thrasher's Ephraim, but Ephraim grants the +4 to all stats and inflicts -4 to all of nearest ally stats. However, Sukvabeker does the same thing. It grants him +4 to all stats, but inflicts 20 damage to the nearest ally within 3 spaces of him. Oh yeah, and he also makes a guaranteed follow-up attack. I forgot about that. Because Thrasher is... both of them have the same effect. If unit is within 3 spaces of an ally, grants +4 to all stats, and inflicts something on the nearest ally. For Ephraim, it's -4 to all stats on the nearest ally, and Sukvabeker, 20 damage to the nearest ally, which is pretty similar also to Berkut's Crime Hilda. And well, since I play a lot with Berkut, I can say this is a great thing for setting up Wings of Mercy, Escape Route, and other weapons like that. It's really fun to use if you have some synergy on your team. Open the Future, however, is a skill that we recently got introduced to by New Year's Alphonse, and it's just power crap to Bonfire because it has the same cooldown, the same damage boost, but it also restores a quarter of the damage dealt to your HP. And he has the same thing. We thought that Open the Future was a New Year's exclusive skill, especially by its phrasing, Open the Future, and it has something to do with the new year. You get what I'm saying. But yeah, Leif also has it. Distant Counter, because I guess they had to give him a skill. And Time Pulse, I really can't get it. It was exclusive to Sothis, and now it's on Leif. And I still can't get the theming behind Time Pulse. I know both of them are essentially the alternate world versions of Alphonse and Veronica, but I still can't get why he gets Time Pulse instead of anything else. However, he gets Deadly Balance, an exclusive B skill that if at the start of combat Leif's HP is exclusive to him. I already said that, fuck. If his HP is above 50% or if there's a penalty on Leif, inflicts attack defense -5 on foe, and grants special cooldown charge +1 per foe's attack. So, it inflicts attack defense -5 on foe, so it's not something foe can cancel, like getting buffs or harsh command. It's an in-combat effect, and grants special cooldown charge +1 per foe's attack, which has neat synergy with Time's Pulse and Open the Future. At the start of your turn, you get cooldown -1, so Open the Future already goes down to 2. And if you're waiting and going to the enemy phase, your foe attacks you, Deadly Balance may grant you -2 cooldown charge, so Open the Future goes down to 0, and you can already counter attack with it. It's an amazing skill and is centered towards the enemy phase, so I would suggest changing Distant Counter for Steady Stance, really, or even, oh no, sorry, breath skills wouldn't matter in this case, because Distant Counter is nice. You can counter ranged foes, but considering his stats, which is high defense and low res, it's more suited to go for a defensive melee focus. And he's an Anima Mythic hero with the speed effect, so yeah, it's nice to have him, and he can reduce your ether rates loss when you lose. And about the other heroes, wow, that was kind of a surprise. I really wasn't expecting this, but we got Loki, Caineghis, who else did we get? Oh shit. Picnic Lucas is the only single one seasonal hero. Hilda and Byleth. First of all, there was a rule before that every mythic banner needed to get at least 3 seasonals. That's a lie. Picnic Lucas is there all alone. So people who commented about me saying that there needed to be 3 seasonal heroes per banner, fuck you. Second, Loki. She was featured in Duma's mythic hero banner, which was a year ago. Caineghis, same thing. Hilda, also featured before. Byleth is new, okay, but still, why did they do it? I can't get it. I can't start to think why Loki. They could have done the same thing they did other times by using a brave hero, such as Brave Veronica, but Loki, I can't get it. So about the other red heroes, we have a legendary hero, legendary Eliwood. Legendary Eliwood is a sword cavalier and has a pair up effect, so that's nice for arena scoring, and that's why you'll probably see him a lot. And what pair up effect does is it grants him 175 BST and allows him to carry a pair up cohort in modes that allow it. Just for the 175 BST, it's essentially the same thing as a dual skill. But yeah, Eliwood is also really good for support because of his weapon, Blazing Durandal, which grants him a lot of attack. Really 90 might weapon, really good synergy with Death Blow. But yeah, what he goes for is the support, starting from his weapon, which grants bonus doubler to the ally with the highest attack. Then Vision of Arcadia, which grants attack defense +6 to the unit with the highest attack. And then going to Rally Speed Res, which grants Speed Res +6 to the unit you rally. So if you rally a unit that has the most attack, he gets +6 to all stats, plus bonus doubler, so it's +12 to all stats. And as people who played his legendary hero battle, you already know what kind of cancer this weapon is, of sorts. But yeah, Eliwood's a pretty good hero to pull for, even at low merges because of his good fodder. And if you're not going to fodder, he's also a good unit for arena and an amazing unit for support. And moving on to Byleth. Byleth is... I'm really not sure what to say about her. I'm not sure if I should call her just fodder or if I should say something smart like keep her, use something else. On my Byleth, just took out Fury 4, kept her Wrath, and gave her Rouse Attack Defense. But she comes originally with Fury 4, one of the best fodder in the game. Wrath, also great fodder, and Attack Wave, if I recall. Still, amazing fodder. But yeah, I have already a +3 Byleth, so I am going to pull for merges. But it's up to you. She's one of the best heroes to pull for fodder, but also one of the best heroes to keep, especially because of her Creator Sword, which is the pinnacle of Cancer. Oh yeah, and she also has Ruptured Sky, which is an inheritable special skill exclusive to her or male Byleth. And well, it boosts damage by a lot, and it's a quick cooldown. It has low cooldown. But Creator Sword, it's essentially no follow-up plus no special charge. It disrupts any skills that interfere with special charge on you and your foe, and does the same thing with follow-up skills. And that's great, but in my opinion, giving her Fury 4 just kind of disrupts this flow because she's losing a lot of HP from it, and it's hard for her to take any more hits. So I would suggest giving her anything else if you want to keep her. However, Wrath is a really good combo with Ruptured Sky low damage, so keep her or fodder her. It's up to you. Now for the blue units, I guess I'll start off with Legendary Ephraim. Legendary Ephraim is, in my opinion, one of the best legendary heroes to this day. He was one of the first one released, but he still manages to stand out from Lance Cavaliers nowadays. How? By being powerful. All that Ephraim does is have somewhat high defense and amazing attack. And with that high attack, you can give him Death Blow 4, you can give him attack defense solo. With that high attack, he can properly utilize his cavalry movement to go in and sweep and Gale Force. But you're going to be saying, huh, he has 25 speed, is it? How can someone like this double and get Gale Force? I introduce you to Flame Sigmund. Flame Sigmund, his weapon, allows him to make a guaranteed follow-up attack if there are more foes than allies within 2 spaces of Ephraim. It's amazing, and it's especially good against rally teams, because teams that have rally skills, all the allies will be just cluttered together. So it allows Ephraim to proc really quick, and he's really dangerous if he initiates on you. Oh yeah, and it's a biphasal skill, so he can do it on the enemy phase as well. He isn't that good in terms of speed and rest, but that's not what he needs. He needs to go in, sweep, and he does it. He's an amazing unit to keep. And, well, unlike him, we have Legendary Lucina. She was an amazing hero, but nowadays I just see her suffering a lot to kill units. She has one of the best speed stats in the game, with her Thiogon, Swift Sparrow, and High Bases combo, but it's still not enough for her, because yeah, she can double, but how about killing? If she came with a special that boosts damage by her speed, she would have been way better. But instead, we have kind of a problem here. By being a colored bow unit, a blue bow infantry unit, she struggles a lot against green foes. And, well, she shines against red foes, but considering how many armored units that are super strong we have, Lucina really struggles nowadays to kill. If she had a speed-based special, she would have been way better. But, well, that's just not what we got. And, yeah, Thiogon is a great skill that... a great weapon that grants her speed +3. And, if she's against a melee foe, it grants her attack speed, death rest +4. Yeah. She also gets Swift Sparrow and probably one of the best sports skills. That probably made her the great unit she was. Future Vision. It's essentially swap, but after swapping you have Gale Force, so you can act once more. It can be used for two things. One, there's an ally in front of you. You swap with him, then go on in charging on head first into the enemy team, or you can do it to move your ally backwards twice, which I mean is great and all, but yeah, it's because I think I have such negative opinion on legendary Lucina because I played with her recently, and my Lucina is a plus attack plus 2. She has 2 merges, and she still is unable to kill many units. And I think just because of my time with Lucina, I think my opinion on her has went way down it ad infinitum. Anyway, Picnic Lucas, the only seasonal hero, and I don't have that much to say about him. He's an armored unit. He comes with a lance that grants him attack defense plus 4 in the enemy phase, Luncheon Lance, and I really don't think anything I say about him matters. He's just Lucas. Everyone knows how a Lucas works. Give him Quick Repose, or in this case Vengeful Fighter, give him Bonfire, give him Vanguard, or even give him Berkut's Lance and Distant Counter, give him Close Defense, give him Steady Stance 4, and he's Lucas. Picnic Lucas has the highest defense in the game, so if you're going to utilize it, go for it. But I don't think there's anything else I should say about him. Low speed, low res, but amazing defenses and high attack. It's about all I can say for him. I'm sorry, Picnic Lucas, but he's a powerful unit, but too simple of a unit, especially considering how Lucas was popular and how Picnic Lucas is just that, but an armored unit, so he has access to fighter skills. And moving on to our next color, we have the green ones. And well, I guess the green color got pretty ditched this time. I'm start off with legendary Hector, which has a weapon that's probably the opposite effect as to legendary Ephraim Flame Sigmund, Thunder or mods. Legendary Ephraim needs to have more foes than allies within 2 space for him to get a guaranteed follow-up attack. And legendary Hector needs to have more allies than foes within 2 spaces for him to prevent foes' follow-up attacks. So he's more defensive, whereas Ephraim is more on the offensive side. And well, legendary Hector comes with also amazing defenses, an okay res, and amazing attack as well. He comes with Distant Counter, Fodder if you want to, and Ostia's Pose, which is to this day one of the only ways you can reduce cooldown on a team that's not full infantry. Sorry, not full infantry, a team that doesn't have infantry units, because infantry units have access to infantry spoofs. And well, legendary Hector is more defensive, has a pretty good focus on the enemy phase with Vengeful Fighter and Distant Counter, but he comes off pretty simple. He's an amazing X unit, and he just got recently powercrafted by Mamori. So if you were skeptical about, I don't know, pulling for Hector, don't do it. If you want to merge Hector, don't do it. Pull for Mamori nowadays. Mamori is just legendary Hector, but better. She gets more defense. She gets more... No, she doesn't get more attack. She just gets more res. And that's about it. I'm shortening these a lot. But for our first non-live mythic hero, Yune. Yune is just Brave Micaiah, but she has the base kit. She has the stats of Brave Micaiah, but she doesn't have the weapon of Brave Micaiah. That's it. Brave Micaiah goes for a focus that's more on the one hit kill side, with the effectiveness against cavaliers and armored units. But Yune has focus on getting a follow-up attack. Yune can get a guaranteed follow-up attack even with a low speed, thanks to Chaos Named. No, it's not Chaos Named. It's her PRF. Her PRF, if there's a penalty on foe, she gets attack +6 during combat, and she gets a guaranteed follow-up attack. So she's a pretty deadly unit, especially if you give her Death Blow 4 or any A skill that boosts her damage. And how can she get consistently a debuff on foe? Well, starting off with her base 37 res and +3 res, 40 res with her weapon. She gets Sabotage res, which inflicts res -7 on all foes that have less than 37 res and are adjacent to any allies on the enemy team. And so she gets access to this, and also she gets access to Chaos Named. And Chaos Named is an exclusive C skill that inflicts -5 to the highest stat on all foes within 3 columns centered on Yune that have 3 res less than her. So basically, if anyone with less than 37 res is within 3 columns centered on Yune, they will suffer -5 to the highest of their stats, and attack is calculated as -15. So Yune is a pretty powerful unit due to her debuff access and her follow-up attacks. But if you have a Brave Micaiah, they're pretty much the same thing. You just have different focuses. Both of them are super strong, but Yune is a mythic hero, so you decide. And for our final green unit, Hilda. Hilda is... how can I say that? She's fast, she's strong, doesn't have that high defenses, because her weapon, Freykugel, doesn't want her to have high defenses. Do not build her around having high defenses, because Hilda can grant attack speed buffs to any ally within 2 spaces of Hilda that has more defense than her. So if there's an ally within 2 spaces of Hilda, he acts first, he gets attack speed +5 or 4, +4. But then if Hilda attacks and there's no units that have a res greater than her, sorry, a defense greater than Hilda, she gets attack defense +6, attack speed +6. It's amazing. Starting off with that, it's a pretty good weapon, one of the best taxes, and that attack speed buff goes on to her high base stats, her high base speed, and attack speed solo. So she's pretty much going to double and kill whatever she faces. She also comes with no follow-up, because hell, why not? She wants to fully utilize her speed. But if I were to get a Hilda, I would fodder her. That's just it. Attack speed solo is a great skill and no follow-up as well. So I was thinking to do that. But still, Hilda is a pretty powerful unit to get. And to our final caller, wow, I'm really struggling with these words. To our final caller, Colorless. Starting off with Legendary Leif. Legendary Leif is Bow Cavalier, that's how I say it. And well, I've already made an in-depth review about Leif. If you want to check that out, there's a link in the description. But yeah, I think I'll sum it up really fast, because I've already talked about him quite a few times, 3 times in the past month. Let me try to sum that up real quick. Meister Bogan, guaranteed follow-up attack, brave effect on both player and enemy phase. Amazing, but it has something to prevent... yeah, it has something to prevent Leif from being extremely cancerous in arena assault, ether raids. If it's under the player's control, it gains the effect. If it initiates combat, foe cannot make a follow-up attack. So, Mr. Bogan is essentially guarantees a follow-up attack and stops foe from making a follow-up attack. It is amazing, but the second effect of preventing foes' follow-up attacks only procs if it's under player's control. So you won't be going against cancerous Legendary Leifs in arena, because it only procs if you have Leif. And the good part about using Leif, especially in the player phase, is Nyarun Zeal. Also another personal skill, That is Gale Force, but it restricts their movement to one space. It's the only way to get Gale Force on a ranged unit, and is exclusive to Leif. But the problem is, Gale Force normally grants you the full movement range, but Njorn Zeal locks your movement to one space. Oh yeah, and he's a pair-up hero, so his pair-up cohort also suffers from this gravity effect. It's a great skill because you can go on in rushing on other heroes, but keep in mind it can't be used as a hit and run skill because you won't be able to run very well. But he also gets Attack Res Push, a great skill because he needs more attack and he gets more attack from that, and more res because, well, why not? S Drink, it's because it's Leif's personal skill ever since he was released in Fire Emblem Heroes, but you can give him anything else to make him really useful in other modes than, what am I trying to say? Tempest Trials. He also gets Death Smoke because if he initiates combat, every foe within 2 spaces of target will suffer death -7, and if Njorn Zeal procs, he will be able to go in and utilize Death Smoke effects. But yeah, that's just about it. And he gets 38 attack, which is high, but he only gets a 9 might weapon, which might seem really bad, but with Attack Res Push and with his collar, I guess I can say that, he is able to dish out some pretty high damage. You see, he's essentially Reinhardt, but better. But also worse, because Reinhardt targets magic, res, whereas Leif targets defense. And I think that's just about it for our legendary heroes. And now moving on to the repeated units. Loki and Caineghis. Starting off with Loki, she has C dual infantry, which is fodder. If you have a dagger infantry unit like Matthew, Soth, or many others, Tethys, let me see if I can, Chad. There are other ones. There are examples. But it's an amazing skill for fodder, but it also benefits Loki herself. Her weapon Thok, it's essentially Panic Ploy. Let me just take a look to see I'm not talking shit about her. So yeah, her weapon requires her to have high HP, and C dual infantry's HP plus 5 effect helps her do it. And because her weapon, if she has 3 HP over any foe within cardinal directions of her, and the foe uses a ranged weapon, he cannot move more than 1 space through its next turn. So it's gravity on any foe that is ranged, if her HP is 3 points higher than it. And since she has high HP, she gets it. She's pretty much the same thing as Bride of Fjorm, whereas Bride of Fjorm wants to have high HP because of Isolation and Jalabrew. Loki wants to have high HP because of Gravity and Thok. And Loki also gets Restore Plus. She's a healer, she needs that. Earth Water Bomb. I think she's the only unit that has it thus far. Yeah, she's the only one. And Earth Water Bomb grants Death Rest plus 6 to all allies for 1 turn if she procs the special when healing. It's great for support, but she also gets on attack wave, and I can't see a reason why not to fodder her. She only has good foddering skills, and well, she gets good stats. She has a pretty good focus on her high attack, and if you want to, high speed, but she has low defense and low res. So either you're going for full on HP for the gravity effect, or go for her attack and speed, because she can work with that. And to our final unit of this banner, well, there was a doozy. Caineghis. Caineghis is the same armored fucklord we've seen a lot of times. A lot of times. He has a pretty good focus on the enemy phase. He gets Vengeful Fighter. He gets the Distance Defense 4. He gets Lion King's Fang, which grants him +4 to all stats if foe initiates combat. He's all towards the enemy phase. If you initiate against him, you're dead. There's no saving you. You are straight up dead. You're going to die. And that's just about it. He's an armored unit, just like everything we've seen before. All armored units are super similar in this sense. Yeah, if you start noticing the patterns, if you have one armored unit, you pretty much have all of them. To this day, I still don't see a reason why not to keep my Halloween Mer. I built her around the enemy phase, gave her busted skills, and I go against the Caineghis. That's it. Whoever wins is whoever's on the enemy phase. That's it. I think that's the great problem with having too many armored units that are pretty similar. I like seeing heroes armored units that are not like that, such as Winter Solstice. And no, Winter Solstice is a pain in the ass. Sorry, forget what I just said. Such as Winter Marth, Amelia. There are heroes that are different to the common armor archetype. And yeah, just that's about it. But what makes Caineghis even greater is that you can't get weapon toggle advantage against him, because he's a colorless unit, and unless you have a Raven Tome, he's not going to suffer from weapon toggle disadvantage. And well, that's just about it. I think I dragged this on too long. Yeah, 30 minutes is a bit too much for a banner review. But well, if you like the video, please leave a like and your comments regarding the units you've seen here, and who you're going to pull, what you think about Loki, why do you think Caineghis is a great unit and unlike anything we've ever seen before. And well, see you next time, and may you get good pulls trying to get the heroes you want.